So anyway, what I was saying.
That's a better look.
It is.
The last one you look like a bum. We are back. Stony Creek Revival. So this is another one of my jazz-ish songs called Making Waves. So the only thing is that, so many of these songs that we did, as we've discussed, go back, 35, 40, 45 years. But this one was done just about 10 years ago, maybe not even quite that long. How can that be
when you're only 17?
Well, I'm going to explain that to you.
Okay.
I've got underwear older than 17 years. Better than Mark. or should I say socks? That may be the one to make the final cut. We'll see. But this song, when around 2010, we went through a period where Gordon and I were in a band, kind of a country rock kind of a band. Mark wasn't in that one, and then it kind of died out in the early 90s, and that's when I started having children, and that was when our father died, and then all of a sudden we had responsibilities of the business, and it just didn't seem like we had time to play live anymore. And so then finally these two guys, got me out of retirement, and they had been They had been going through some challenges in their life, and they said, "Hey, let's wear puka shells and form a surf band." So,
which was primarily Mark's idea.
It was primarily Mark's idea, and
I needed it therapy.
And because the Cook Boys, they introduced us to the Beach Boys, because that was not something that came to us via Bob and Glenn, even though they were L.A. boys. You guys had that in the summer.
Well, no, it was the concert from Sacramento.
Long, tall Texan and all that. You're right.
Yeah,
right.
Long.
And so they really introduced the beach thing, the Cook Boys, that being Stephen and Mark. Doug was out with Alice Cooper. That's another story for another time.
So anyway, they said, let's do a surf band, and let's do Beach Boys, let's do Jan and Dean, and let's do Dick Dale, and then it kind of evolved into a summer attitude band,
and because whenever you hear a Beach Boys or any kind of a surf song come on the radio, are you frowning? You smile, and you just think of happier times.
And at that point, because in the 90s, we were playing 30, 35 times a year, still as part-time, but we were pretty busy at that time. And when these guys got me out of retirement, I didn't want that anymore, and I don't think these guys did. And we certainly didn't want to start dragging home at 3 o'clock in the morning anymore. After all of these gigs, we were not spring chickens anymore. And so we just settled in for the last 10 years of a pretty successful run of our band called Book 'em Dano. And in fact, that was the origin of this channel. And you can still see some of the live performance videos that we did.
And that was largely due to the greatly appreciated efforts of Steve and Angela Cook, who put that channel together. Although Donna early on was recording and trying to.
Donna's my wife.
Donna Bippus, and even DJ did a lot of the early filming.
Right, so, and again, just amateur
Family
stuff.
Affair.
Everything that we've been doing is just amateur stuff. But anyway, I've always wanted to record. That has been like a deep-seated desire that I've wanted to have. And so when we were playing active, I was thinking, maybe we could write some original surf type of songs and release a surf album. Well, it never happened, but I wrote this song during that period. And, it's kind of a ventures type of a thing. I actually play my Stratocaster on this, because on almost all of this album, Glenn Stratocaster, that's true. Almost all of this album, I play my 335. You gonna say it? Glenn's 335.
Glenn's 335.
But this one I played the Strat because you have to have a Strat when you're doing surf music. And it's one that we might revisit later on, because these guys would tear it up, because they're both, really good surf musicians, and that is in their DNA, and hopefully that will happen. But still, I just thought it was a cool, you can't have. What I hated was I would listen to jazz albums, and sometimes they would be morose and over serious, and this and that, and this song to me was kind of lively. It was upbeat, and it was short and kind of concise. And, that's the kind of jazz that I like to hear.
And that's the beautiful thing about surf music is you're in and out in about 2 minutes.
That's about how long I made it on a boogie board.
Thank you for saying that.
Are you done?
I'm done.
So, if you like what we're doing and you want to take this ride with us, you know what? Rock our subscribe bar
Rock our subscribe bar.
and give us a thumbs up. And if you don't like it, give us 2 thumbs down.
You forgot to say that last two.
I know. And then, you know what? Ring our bell because we like that. Because you know why that happens?
We make another nickel.